God works differently in our lives. He may call upon us to do work that is so big that it pushes us to our limits, but it is for the greater good according to His plans. What if you were the one who was prophesied to do His bidding? Will you adhere to the calling and face the challenges that may come upon with the calling? Or perhaps you will push back, afraid that it might be too hard to be done. That is Cyrus's challenge. It was 586 BC when the temple at Jerusalem was destroyed by the ruthless ruler King Nebuchadnezzar and the Babylonian Empire, driving away thousands of Jews in their homeland. All educated people, and including uneducated persons with economic status, were exiled to Babylon for nearly 70 years. Only those who were poor and uneducated people remained in the cities of Judah, for they were not the ones to cause trouble for their conqueror. The traditional enemies of the Jews were deported into the ruined areas, keeping citizens and new deportees from rebelling against the puppet governments appointed by the Babylonian Empire. Armed with research and passion for knowing the deeper story behind this phenomenal event, author Sandy Miller sets out to find more about the Persian rulings and the events that led up to the destruction of the temple, and how 200 years before, God's prophet Isaiah already knew that a man named Cyrus will be the one called upon by God to rebuild it. Miller takes upon the task of taking the story piece by piece, backing it up with historical artifacts, symbolisms, and verses that seals the story with reality. With a discussion guide on each chapter, teachers, Bible scholars, and readers alike will be able to easily understand God's work in that era, with illustrated pictures and descriptive imagery that will surely amaze even the unbelievers whose curiosity pushed them to read the book. Follow the story of Cyrus in rebuilding the temple at Jerusalem, and see how he was challenged by God to complete his mission with God's divine provision in his life, taking upon himself the task to back the 42,000 Jews that were home away from home. Know the story, the facts, and the most interesting details in such a phenomenal event that took place hundreds and thousands of years upon God's plan, and see how truly marvelous God's work truly is.